It was a crisp autumn evening when Sophie, a 13-year-old girl, found herself home alone for the first time. Her parents, trusting her growing maturity and the safety of their quiet suburban neighborhood, had left for a dinner party, promising to return by midnight. The streets were lined with tidy lawns and friendly faces, a place where locking doors felt optional. Sophie, thrilled by this newfound independence, planned to order pizza and dive into her favorite video game, Mystic Quest. Using the Pizza Express app on her smartphone, she ordered a medium pepperoni pizza and a side of garlic bread. The app displayed the delivery driver's details. Mike, a man in his 40s, with a scruffy beard and glasses. Sophie barely noticed. She was too excited about her night. When the doorbell rang, she grabbed the cash her parents had left and opened the door. There stood Mike, holding her order. "Hi, just you here tonight?" he asked, peering past her into the dimly lit hallway. Sophie, recalling her parents' stranger danger lessons, replied, "No, my dad's upstairs in the shower." It was a quick lie, delivered with a steady voice. Mike nodded, handed her the food, and waited as she paid and tipped him through the app. After he left, Sophie locked the door, carried her meal to the living room, and settled in front of the TV. She ate while battling virtual foes, the hours slipping by unnoticed. Around 10 p.m., her phone buzzed with a notification from the Pizza Express app. "Your delivery driver has a message for you." Curious, she opened it and read, "Hey, I think I left my phone at your house. Can I come back to get it?" Sophie frowned. She hadn't seen any phone during the delivery. She texted her mom, "The pizza guy says he left his phone here, but I didn't see it. What do I do?" Her mom replied swiftly, "Ignore it, sweetie. We'll be home soon." But then, the doorbell rang again. Sophie's stomach tightened. She tiptoed to the door and peeked through the peephole. It was Mike, standing there, shifting his weight from foot to foot. "It's Mike," he called out. "I need my phone." Fear prickled her skin. She didn't respond or open the door. Instead, she dialed her mom. "Mom, he's back. He says he needs his phone and he's at the door." "Stay inside, Sophie. Lock everything. We're calling the police," her mom said, her voice sharp with worry. Sophie raced around the house, double-checking every window and door. She retreated to her room, locking that door too, and sat on her bed, clutching her phone. Outside, she heard faint footsteps circling the house. Then, a rattling sound came from the back door. Someone was trying to get in. Her breath hitched, and she stayed silent, hoping they'd leave. Time dragged on, each minute stretching into eternity. Finally, sirens pierced the quiet, and flashing lights illuminated the street. Sophie peeked out her window as police officers searched the yard. They found no one, but footprints in the damp grass and scuff marks near the back door hinted at an intruder's presence. When the officers knocked, Sophie let them in, explaining the night's events. She showed them the app message from Mike. They took notes, collected his details, and assured her they'd follow up. Her parents burst through the door soon after, enveloping her in hugs. Shaken but furious, they checked the Pizza Express app and discovered Mike had a history of complaints. Odd behavior, lingering too long at homes, yet the company hadn't acted. "This is outrageous," her dad muttered, already drafting a complaint. The next day, the police revealed a twist. Mike had been fired from Pizza Express earlier that week for those very complaints. Somehow, he still had access to the app and had used it to target homes, perhaps assuming Sophie was an easy mark. The company issued a hurried apology, promising to tighten security. Sophie's story spread through the neighborhood, a whispered warning about delivery apps and the importance of caution. Her parents, once so trusting of their safe little corner of the world, grew more protective. They stopped ordering from Pizza Express, opting for a rival with glowing reviews and stricter hiring practices. Though the ordeal left Sophie rattled, it also sharpened her instincts. She learned to trust that uneasy feeling in her gut, the one that whispered something wasn't right. From then on, whenever she was alone, she checked the locks twice, her fingers lingering on the deadbolt as if to reassure herself. The night had changed her, but it hadn't broken her. She still loved pizza and video games, just with a keener eye on the world beyond her screen. When I was 19, my family uprooted from sunny San Diego to a quiet patch of northern Montana. My parents, fresh off early retirement, had built their ideal retreat, a sprawling two-story lodge tucked away in the wilderness. Surrounded by towering pines and rugged hills, the place was a postcard of solitude. No neighbors, no streetlights, just us and the endless forest stretching out to the edge of a national reserve. The house was a marvel, vaulted ceilings, a game room with a pool table and a home theater in the basement that felt like our own private cinema. It was paradise, or so I thought. I'm Sarah, and back then, I was still navigating life after high school. My boyfriend Jake was my anchor, and one crisp fall evening, with my parents off at a charity event in town, I invited him over. We grabbed some sodas, neither of us was bold enough for the liquor cabinet yet, and settled into the theater to watch The Matrix. The night started perfectly. The surround sound thrummed, the leather recliners creaked under us, and the glow of the screen lit up the dark room. But halfway through, something shifted. A prickling sensation crawled up my neck, like static before a storm. My eyes flicked to the wide, uncurtained windows behind us, opening to the black expanse of the woods. I couldn't shake the feeling that something was out there, staring back. I didn't say anything to Jake. We were tangled up in each other by then, the movie a distant hum, but that unease gnawed at me. When the credits rolled, I walked him upstairs to the driveway. His taillights faded into the night, and the house fell silent again. I realized I'd left the basement lights blazing, so I trudged back down. I flicked off the theater switch first, then paused. My gaze drifted to the window, and there he was. A man, disheveled and wiry, stood just beyond the glass. His clothes were tattered, his hair a greasy snarl, but it was his face that stopped me cold. A wide, toothy grin, unhinged and gleaming, paired with eyes that bored into mine. In his hand, a small hammer tapped the window. Tick, 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 slow and deliberate. I stumbled back, heart hammering. Was this real? I darted to the game room, where a glass door faced the same stretch of yard. As I killed the lights, he appeared there too, gliding silently into view. That grin still plastered on his face. He didn't try the handle, just stood there, inches away, watching me through the thin pane. I bolted upstairs, lungs burning, and nearly collided with my parents as they walked in. "There's a guy outside," I gasped. "He's got a hammer. I think he's been watching me." My dad's face hardened. He grabbed his hunting rifle from the safe and swept outside, while my mom dialed the sheriff. She turned to me, voice tight. "There's been a vagrant spotted around here lately. Matches what you saw." The deputies came, searched the property, but found nothing. No tracks, no signs, just the chill of the empty woods. I wanted to believe it was over, but that night, as I lay in bed, my room perched above the theater, I heard it. A faint tick, 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 metal on glass drifting up from below. It haunted me for weeks, sporadic and maddening, sometimes joined by the creak of footsteps on the gravel drive. Then winter hit. My parents had to visit relatives out of state, leaving me alone for a weekend. They handed me the shotgun, just in case, and left our gentle giant, a mastiff named Luna, to keep me company. She was a teddy bear, but her growl could rattle the walls when she meant it. That first night, I was dozing on the couch when Luna stirred, ears up, a low rumble building in her chest. Outside, I heard it, the crunch of boots on snow, slow and heavy, circling the house. Luna's barking erupted, deep and furious, aimed at the front door. Then came a knock. 3 slow, hollow thuds. I didn't move, didn't breathe, just clutched the gun and waited. Morning revealed the truth. Fresh footprints in the snow, looping the house, pausing at every window. I traced them out back where they veered into the trees, twisting and doubling back like a taunt. That night, the tapping returned. Louder, insistent. I'd had enough. I snatched the shotgun, flung open the upstairs balcony door, and switched on the floodlights. There he stood, bathed in white light, same wild hair, same manic grin, hammer in hand. "Leave!" I shouted, voice shaking, "or I'll shoot!" He didn't budge, just stared, daring me. I fired into the sky, the boom splitting the silence. He flinched, then retreated, still facing me as he melted into the shadows. I unleashed Luna, and she tore after him, snarling into the dark. Her collar stopped her short, but the tapping never came back. Neither did he. This happened in April of 2023 during our college spring break. I was a junior, and my friends, 5 of us in total, decided to rent a cabin in the mountains of Colorado for a weekend getaway. It was meant to be a break from everything. No assignments, no stress, no distractions. Just us, the wilderness, and maybe a few too many drinks. The group was me, my buddies Jake, Ryan, and Sam, and 2 girls we'd known since orientation, Mia and Zoe. The cabin was a steal for its size. 2 floors, a sprawling deck, and supposedly secluded on private land near a creek. It was deep in the woods, no cell service, no neighbors. Just the kind of place you'd pick for peace. The owner, a gruff guy with a heavy drawl, warned us over the phone. "Don't go too far into the forest. There's old mining shafts, steep drops, and bears. Easy to get lost if you ain't careful." We chuckled, figuring he was just playing up the mountain man vibe. The drive was brutal. GPS cut out an hour out, and the last stretch was a narrow, rutted path barely fit for our SUV. The cabin loomed ahead, older and more weathered than the photos suggested. Peeling paint, sagging gutters, and a faint musty smell greeted us. Still, we made the best of it, cracking jokes about rustic charm as we unpacked. By 6 p.m., we were grilling burgers, blasting music, and toasting to our escape. As night fell, the woods turned oppressive. I'm talking pitch black, the kind where the trees seemed to swallow light whole. The porch lamps barely cut through it, and the silence was thick. No crickets, no breeze, just a heavy, unnatural stillness. We retreated inside by 10, locking the doors more out of habit than concern. I took a small room on the first floor, next to the kitchen. It had a single bed and a window that faced the forest. Around 3:30 a.m., I jolted awake, heart racing for no reason. Then I heard it. A soft rhythmic scratching, like nails dragging across wood. I told myself it was a branch, but there was no wind. The sound shifted. Now it was more like a whisper, too faint to make out words. My skin prickled. I crept to the window and peered out. There, half hidden in the shadows, stood a figure. Tall, gaunt, dressed in dark, tattered clothes. His face was obscured, but I swear his eyes glinted, locked on the cabin. He didn't move, just stood there, unnaturally still. My breath caught. I blinked, and he was gone. Or maybe he'd never been there. I woke Jake, who was crashed on the living room couch. "Dude, I think someone's outside," I whispered. He grumbled, half asleep, but followed me to the window. Nothing. We checked the doors, still locked. "Probably just a deer or something," he muttered, heading back to bed. But I couldn't shake the feeling. Morning came, and we stepped outside to clear our heads. That's when we saw them. Footprints. Not animal tracks, bare, human footprints, circling the entire cabin. They stopped at each window, as if someone had been peering in, watching us sleep. Mia found a handprint smeared on the glass outside her room. We tried to laugh it off, but the jokes felt forced. We should have left then, but we didn't. Call it pride or stupidity, but we stayed. That night, the mood was tense. No one drank much, and Sam kept his baseball bat close. We double-checked every lock and kept the lights on. Around 2 a.m., Zoe screamed from the kitchen. We rushed in to find her pointing at the back door, wide open. It hadn't been forced, it was just Open. But we'd locked it. I know we had. Then we heard footsteps upstairs. Heavy, deliberate. Ryan grabbed a flashlight and we crept up, hearts pounding. The hallway was empty, but Zoe's room was trashed. Clothes strewn, bed flipped, and a single word scrawled on the mirror in what looked like mud. Leave. We didn't wait for another sign. We grabbed our stuff and bolted for the car. As we sped down the dirt road, I glanced back. There, in the rearview mirror, I saw him, standing at the edge of the woods, watching us go. He didn't chase us, didn't move, just stood there, a dark silhouette against the trees. We called the sheriff from a gas station an hour later. He listened, then sighed. Yeah, we get reports like that sometimes. Squatters, drifters, folks not right in the head. Probably harmless, but best to steer clear. When we mentioned the owner, his expression tightened. That guy? He's known around here. Let's just say he don't ask many questions about who rents his place. The cabin listing vanished from the site a week later. We never got a refund, never got answers. But sometimes, when I wake up in the dead of night, I still hear that scratching, still see those eyes staring back. We don't talk about Colorado anymore, and I doubt any of us will go back.